Once upon a time, man lived at the mercy of an environment. Once upon a time, man lived at the mercy of an environment. He couldn't understand. He hunted the game, sometimes he found it, and sometimes he went hungry. He planted crops. Sometimes they prospered, and sometimes they failed. He sought out roots, berries, insects. Sometimes they were plentiful, sometimes scarce. He fell ill. Sometimes he recovered. Sometimes he died. And each case, the reasons for success and failure were beyond his comprehension. He lacked that understanding of the physical world on which our present culture prides itself, whether in his way of life we say nobility or simply score. We are quite safe in pronouncing primitive man to be ignorant. Of course, he wouldn't feel that way, or if he did, he wouldn't admit it. And since the last person we ever admit anything to is ourselves, in his own mind, he was perfectly happy that he knew all the answers. Occasionally he He might want to consult his local wise man. Sometimes he might even travel. Sometimes he might even travel to the next village or even further to look for help. But in general, he was secure in his conviction. He was secure in his conviction that the body of knowledge available to him was sufficient to account for everything that happened. Thus, the Pueblo Indians of New Mexico had no difficulty in accounting for lack of rain. Someone must have made a mistake in performing the complex rituals of the rain dances. Thinking back, it wouldn't be too difficult to point a finger at the particular performer and the particular mistake. Similarly, the Dubuan Island, confronted with the failure of his young crop. He knew what had happened. Someone had bewitched his plants, and his own counter charms hadn't been strong enough to protect them. Counter charms. In our terms, of course, the primitive man was kidding himself. His need for psychological security drove him to create a set of beliefs that enabled him to account for his environment and events that took place in it. It led to the evolution of a system of rituals. It led to the evolution of a system of rituals that enabled him to cause and control those events. Today we are past all that. We are several centuries. We are several centuries into the age of reason. Science and technology present us with either the actuary or the promise of control over our environment. Perhaps we cannot yet stop a thunderstorm or control a flood, but we know why they happen, and we can mitigate the disasters they cause. We cannot summon up rain. Summon up. We cannot summon up rain. Summon up. But at least on occasion, we can create rain by the satisfactory mechanic method of dropping ice into a cloud. And with modern technology, we can lessen our dependence on the random benevolence of nature. And with modern technology, we can lessen our dependence. We can lessen benevolence of nature. We can lessen our dependence on. We can lessen our dependence on the random benevolence of nature.